Hi guys, so I'm here on Coolagad, which is Kindelstown wood. It's the original name for Kindelstown, and I'm just showing you the main forest that will remain, and then you have other parts which are quilcha plantations, Sitka plantations that get harvested. So this side here will remain as a permanent wood, and you have your beautiful honeysuckle. The only climber in Ireland is here. Here it is here growing everywhere, look. So important for your moths because there's a long fluted flower where only moths with their tongues can get inside, and probably bats as well. So it's such an important flower growing in forests. Here you have beautiful ash stands growing up, right? You have your Scots pine, your holly, but there is a lot of sycamore growing in the forest, and the sycamore does need to be cut so the public can get involved. And Quilcha should run a campaign where the public can pull up the saplings of sycamore as they see them, because sycamore will grow in shade canopy and it will outcompete all our beautiful native oak. So your native oak won't grow in that area. The sycamore will outcompete it every time. So it's very important that we cut all the baby sycamore and remove them as a standard practice. But anyway, we're going to go up in the hill. I'm going to show you the idea that I'm discussing with Yasmin Fortune. We've also sent this on for consideration with Quilcha. So the recent area here has been harvested and cleared. And yeah, at the moment it looks kind of devastating, of course, but this is part of forestry, right? You do have to clear areas and then plant them again. There'll be certain trees, like here you have an X in this tree, so I don't know if that means that's going to get cut or the X means it's going to stay. Here you have one with O's on it, so this obviously is a different code on it here. Okay, so this is the way the foresters tell each other what needs to happen in an area. Hopefully these ones are staying, you know, the ones with the X's. I don't see why they would be cut. They're really important for how this all looks here. But anyway, you know, let's take a look here. So this is your deforestation that takes place. I presume most of this was Douglas fir and Sitka spruce. I wouldn't imagine any of this was native species, and maybe some of it was in the way that in order for the truck to get in they had to drive in. So here you have a beech tree and they might have to remove part of that in order to get inside. Obviously when this happens though, let's be serious in this, this is huge amounts of carbon is released. So when you disturb your soil, all the insects and mycelium dies in that soil. And then when you replant, the whole cycle starts again. It has to rebuild itself. So there is a huge cost in terms of carbon when you do this. But trees are really important for creating your houses. You have to have trees. So Ireland does need to understand we need quilcha because it provides the wood in your housing construction, as far as I know, a portion of it anyway. Otherwise we have to import that from other countries who may have practices that are really dodgy. Let's look here. So I presume all that's been saved. So let's get straight to it. What I'm saying to quilcha is that this is such a tiny wood. To do any operations of harvesting in here costs you more than it does to harvest it. To get your trucks up here, to grow for 50 years, then harvest, when it is much better to retain this all for biodiversity as one permanent wood. We do own the land. Quilcha is just an arm of government that manages forestry for us. But we own the land. People have to remember that. Quilcha doesn't own the land, we own the land. So in my opinion, you can see Downs Hill in the background here. It's so important that we harvest this correctly. Okay? This is the viewing station I'm talking about that would be up here. So here's Downs Hill, which is the ancient hill fort of the Cuala. You know, the Cuala is our ancient tribe, 3,000 years old, 3,000 in Ireland, and in around 1000 AD they would have began to diminish. But the Battle of Delgany, most importantly, took place down in this valley between this hill fort and this hill fort. King Sitric, the Viking from Norway, had taken over this area and the shoreline. So all the way to Dublin had been taken over by the Vikings by 1021-22, and then a battle in 1022 took place between this hill fort here and this one here. So it's really, really exciting stuff. So what I'm proposing to, we'll turn this around here so you can see, here's your cell towers. And what I'm saying is the cell towers will be moved to here. So all this group here goes in the center here. trees are planted around it. They can be raised up higher, so they're on a raised concrete stand, and your hill towers are these are in the center. Or if you want to be really radical, they're removed from the mountain altogether. I'm just trying to wear two hats here. One which is realistic, that they're here already. People are disputing whether this is a hill fort. The Department of Heritage disputes certain aspects of this being a hill fort, but it has not been properly analysed. You know, we have spoken to the Department of Heritage on it, and the local archaeologist for Wicklow, and at the present time he is saying that there is no evidence to imply that there is any permanent structures here, but they haven't done geosurveying of this hill. Geosurveying is when you x-ray the soil. So anyway, the idea is this will be moved into the centre here. This main viewing platform, which you'll see now, which is amazing, will become this amazing station for tourists and locals alike to view the viewing platform of what this would have been like and why it was so important to the Vikings to take this hill. Okay, so we'll take a look in the next video. For the meantime, I'll let you listen to the birds.